cold weather has caused any damage, but if it has, I know who knows how to fix it. Joe Reichel, he's here in the studio from Damage Control Services. The show is called appropriately Damage Control, and your phone calls are an important part of the show. The number is 622-9622. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
You're orange on top, orange on bottom, orange in your cup.
I've got orange all the way around today.
Aren't you glad you came in today?
I am.
Look at you. You're color coordinated.
My socks are orange too, so.
Yeah, orange on top, orange on bottom.
Yep.
So is the cold weather getting you any business? Are people calling up saying, "Oh my goodness, something sprung," or maybe not till tonight?
We have not received any phone calls that I know of people saying things have sprung. So.
But
I mean, it's frozen pipes or something that we do have to be concerned about. And this morning the weather was cold enough that it could have been that way. So you never know. I mean, that's something you always want to be conscious of as far as your outside pipes, your hose bibs, and things like that. So in your well, might want to wrap that tonight.
Yeah.
Especially this colder weather.
And I guess a spring outside is going to be annoying, but it may not cause a whole lot of damage.
Well, I mean, if your well freezes, which it'd have to get pretty cold for that, but if that was to happen, it would be a huge inconvenience for you until that thawed out.
Yeah.
As long as it didn't break any pipes or whatever. So. But, I mean, that's what you do have to be concerned about is broken pipes, and then that would be an even bigger inconvenience. And until you fixed it, you wouldn't have water in your home.
So if you turned on your water and it was nothing broken, but you could tell that it must be frozen in there because it's not coming out, is there a right way and a wrong way to thaw out that water?
Really, it would depend where it was frozen. You wouldn't want to apply direct heat.
You would not?
No. You don't want to build a fire under it. It really depends where it's frozen and what's caused it. So in order to even avoid that, you'd want to, you can take the preventative measures, turn on, your faucet, let it drip, slow drip, and that way it keeps that water moving.
Does it matter which faucet you turn on, or do you turn them all on?
If it's an outside faucet, you just want to, turn it on so that water, your water's running. That's something that, that's easy as that. But a lot of times people, inside your home, and this might be something you don't know, but if you have pipes that run through your attic, and if they're not insulated, they could freeze.
That could be real bad.
Right.
If those things broke open. You do have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Joe.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Hey, well, I don't know if it's going to get that cold, but to play it safe, I'll do it anyways. But usually when I know it's going to get down into the upper teens, that's really getting down there for Florida.
Right.
I always, besides covering up my well, and I run a light bulb out there, 100-watt light bulb, just let that run all night. That keeps it warm in there,
Right. And you're talking about in your well house, or?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead.
I was going to say, too, and with your outside plumbing, now you can turn your water off and just open your spigots up and let them drip free of water, and there'll be no problem then,
Right. Yeah, and that's where a lot of times, people, they will, if you have exposed pipes outside, just throwing a blanket over them is typically enough, because here in Florida, we don't typically get those extreme freezing temperatures like you were just talking about.
Yeah, I know a lot of times people will, when they know it's going to get extremely cold, they'll turn their faucet on and let them drip outside, and that keeps it from freezing up too.
Yep. Yeah, it was, and that's something here we typically don't have to worry about it as much, but or at all. But this morning I was talking to my parents, and they're in Pennsylvania, and when it was 36 here, it was 4.6 there.
Oh, gee.
So
yeah,
that's. Is there anything with the irrigation system that you can do to protect? I know it's in the ground, but if it would get into the upper teens, which I know it's not going to do that tonight, but it could in the future. Is there anything you can do to protect your piping that way?
Well, those lines aren't under pressure all the time, so they wouldn't have water in them where it's going to freeze. I don't believe. I'm not really an irrigation guy, so I don't really have the exact answer to that. But I don't think we have. I don't think those are typically a problem as far as freezing.
Yeah.
For that
I know
reason.
Once in a while you'll see where somebody will run their system in the morning because, supposedly the water coming from underneath is 72 degrees, so you're going to be all right for a while. But, of course, it makes a little bit of an ice field on your lawn, but I guess it might help from cracking a pipe or something.
Yeah. I don't really know the answer. That's a great question.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Joe.
You're welcome. Thanks for the call.
Thank you. The phone number is 622-9622 if you want to call. And just in case you do have some damage, you might want to call Joe tomorrow.
Tomorrow would be a good time if you had damage. Hopefully I don't get a phone call with somebody saying, hey, I've got damage, though. That's the last thing we want. And that's what a lot of times, we talk about prevention and helping people so that they're prepared in case of, or, so that they don't have a disaster. They don't call us.
By the way, there was I guess it was considered a small fire at the Burger King. Mm-hmm. Did you get that call?
I did not.
You did not?
But I heard about it.
Okay, because I remember in the article it said something about they were going to get, I guess, what do you call your profession? Reconstruction?
Restoration?
Restoration professionals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So I thought about you guys.
Yeah, that's typically a good referral for us would be.
And it sounded like it was mostly smoke was the issue because.
And that's when a fire happens.
What was it, in the air conditioner?
Very possibly went through the air conditioner. Yeah,
that's what it was. Yeah.
And when a fire happens, even if it doesn't do a lot of the fire itself doesn't do a lot of damage, you have the smoke odor that goes everywhere and affects everything. So and that's a part of it that in addition to the fire, you have the soot that gets in the air and goes on everything. You have the odor that goes on everything. If there was a substantial fire and the fireman had to use water, you have the water damage now that that's caused by that.
And in this particular case, because the Burger King was closed, the fireman had to break through the glass.
Right.
So I'm guessing that's a small job for somebody like you, but still, there's damage.
Well, and that's where a lot of times fires are. There's emergency response that we have to do when there's a fire, and that is board up or tarp in. Sometimes the roof gets, the fireman will cut a hole in the roof to get the smoke out, or if the fire gets up into the roof system, it'll burn a hole in the roof. So that's a lot of times we have to tarp that in. Windows get broken, doors get busted in because they're trying to get in. The windows are busted because they're getting the smoke out.
Right.
So, there's a lot of damage caused by a fire, and that's where one of the things that a homeowner needs to do as soon as they're able to get in there is to get all of their valuables out. This is something a lot of times they don't think about. Any guns, jewelry, money, if it's still there. Because you're not going to be able to stay in your home.
Oh, so to prevent somebody from stealing.
You're not going to be able to stay in your home, and you don't want vandals to get in there and take your stuff, take your valuable things. And that's where we come in after that and board up and secure the house to the best we can. So plywood on the windows, plywood the door, tarp in the roof, whatever it takes in order to secure that. But you're going to have, after the firemen leave, you're going to have a bunch of people coming through your house, and you don't want your valuables in there.
We had a grocery store burn in my neighborhood when I was a kid. And for the next few weeks, I'd go to my friend's house, and he'd have these burnt cans of vegetables in his pantry. So somebody went into the burnt supermarket and got those things. Basically stole food.
Right. And that's one thing, food, once it, depending, typically all of the food is no longer any good because it gets that heat.
You think,
it gets, cooked. So a lot of times it's best just to throw all of that stuff out.
All the burnt cans. All right, we'll take a little break. Wow, that went fast. We'll take a little break. We've got 15 minutes left in the show, though, so lots of time to have your questions answered. If you're involved in a do-it-yourself home repair or home remodeling project, this is a great time to get some advice from Joe Reichel. The number is 622-9622. If you've got damage that needs professionals, Joe can guide you on that project, though, so we'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Sunshine on this Tuesday, but cool with a high of just 53 to 57. Mainly clear and cold tonight, lows ranging from about 30 well inland to 42 along the coast. For Wednesday, partly sunny and noticeably milder in the afternoon, high 62 to 66. For Thursday, some sun followed by increasing clouds, high 68 to 72. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hi, Matt Wilkerson here, your mobile Verizon rep. But not just here, I'll deliver the phone to you in your home. While I'm there, I'll only sell you what you need and I'll personalize it to you. Want to have me get you connected? Then call me at 352-528-0020. I even offer unlimited home phone service for just $20 per month. Just call me, your mobile Verizon rep, at 352-528-0020.
What are the most common questions those nearing retirement are asking? Will I outlive my money? Retirement questions like these and many more will be answered every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement with hosts Francois and Julian Cozenet. Francois and Julian will help you put your retirement puzzle together. Catch Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement Saturdays at 9 a.m. on Ocala's News Talk, The Source 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
Don't get caught without your daily source of senior deals. Pick up your copy of the Senior Voice newspaper. It's your source for schedule and events tailored to seniors, with information you need, like a list of free events in the area. We even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company to you that fits your needs. And all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about them. For more information, call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223. And pick up your copy of the Senior's Voice at most any business up and down the 200 corridor.
Now read a downtown newspaper online.
Club. Here, century-old oak trees surround stunning homes, the finest sport-style amenities in the state. Our exceptional golf course will host the 2016 Coates Golf Championship presented by R&L Carriers. And here you can savor a luxurious lifestyle that's second to none. Call 352-369-6969 for more information on our available real estate options and to schedule a home tour.
All right, 12 minutes before 11 o'clock, 44 degrees here at WOCA. In Fort Lauderdale, it's 57 degrees. In Miami, it's 61 degrees. And in Joe Reichel's, one of your former towns, Homer City, Pennsylvania, it's 12 degrees.
Burr.
A little bit cold up there. Yeah, we had some tornadoes from some of the weather that it was down in the Tampa, Sarasota, between that
Yes.
in that corridor down there.
Yep. Down, I guess, 2 tornadoes.
2 people died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's something, we have a lot of tornadoes that happen in this area, and we always want to be prepared for them and know what to do if a tornado happens. So, as a family head or someone with children, you want to make sure that your children know if a tornado's, if there's a tornado warning, or if these storms are, we get these storms all the time here in Florida, and
Okay, have you ever
tornadoes
heard
can pop up.
that you should open your windows when there's a tornado so that there's no pressure in the house?
I have
Because it could
heard that.
implode or something?
I have heard that, and a lot of times people will raise the window a little bit, but it depends on the window, because a lot of times you have blowing winds and rain, so you're letting rain in your window.
Yeah,
so
really.
you don't want to, on the incoming side, whatever direction the wind's coming from, you might not want to have that window open.
So if it's completely sealed, then the tornado has pressure, it implodes. Is that what they say?
I'm not
collapses
sure
or something?
that it can, yeah. And that's a direct, if the tornado hits you directly. So, the chances of a direct hit from a tornado aren't as great as just getting the damaging winds and
scary, though,
and
isn't it?
whatnot. Oh, very scary.
So that damage that was in those photos from the tornadoes, I mean, that didn't look fixable. That looked like you just bulldoze it down and start over again.
Right, and that's what it takes a lot of times with tornado damage or extreme storm damage like that. Is it's just it's a matter of just taking it all apart, bringing in a bulldozer or whatever. You don't want to do that until all of your possessions are out of it, or homeowners have time to go through it.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much the next step, is just to get all the debris out and start back over again.
In 1993, there was a tornado that came through Ocala, and it went right through the airport, and it right across from Highway 40. There's a subdivision there, and one house was totally destroyed, and the people who lived in the house were missing.
Oh, wow.
And so there was a big scare. What happened to the people? Well, it turned out they were in St. Augustine. Didn't even know till they drove home. They're driving through the neighborhood going, what happened here? And there's no house. No house. Not a damaged house. No house. Isn't that crazy?
I have seen
And
that.
lucky for them, they weren't even home. They didn't even know.
Fortunately, yeah, that way they weren't hurt, because if they were home, probably would have gotten hurt. Yeah. And I've seen that with storm damage, even as a child in Pennsylvania. I remember going to different storms after they happened and seeing houses that were completely gone. So it is something that's very scary. So we want to be prepared for this kind of stuff. You never know when disasters might happen or storms, and especially this time of the year, like that one. That was just a freak storm.
Have this false sense of security after we get past November 30th. We go, oh, okay, hurricane season is over. We're safe now. But but then you have all these other things that can happen.
Well, yeah, tornadoes happen all the time, so. You never really know. And before you know it, I heard somebody, a commercial the other day someone was talking about June 1st will be here before we know it. So you want to get your homes ready for that, which it was kind of funny. I thought that was funny.
Right, and I think your message is get your home ready, period.
Right.
Not necessarily June 1st, something's going to change.
Right. And as we're going, talking about that, we're going into the spring. He was particularly talking, he was a tree guy, and he was talking about getting trees cleaned up and
well,
ready.
That is important.
It is important, and you never know when, we might have a gust of wind, not necessarily a tornado, but a gust of wind that could blow a tree over onto your house. So if you have trees that are in question or close to your home, you'd want to get them inspected and maybe just a few of the limbs taken off and make sure it's professionally done. But, we're going into the springtime, soon going into the springtime, and we're going to be getting a lot more rain. With that, are your gutters cleaned out? Because if the gutters aren't cleaned out, that water is just going to back up and come into the house, into parts of your house and cause rotten wood, not necessarily, and also pests. I mean, you get ants that start living in rotten wood, as well as termites. They can be attracted to rotten wood. So
bears are attracted to rotten wood.
Bears are.
Did you know that?
I did.
It's crazy.
I don't think you have to worry about bears coming in the house, but
you've got rotting wood in the backyard, like in a pile or something like that.
Bears could be attracted to that, but I would worry more about termites than anything else. Unless you lived in the woods, and then you might have a bear come.
I know, it's crazy. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It wasn't bears. I know you're going to think this is crazy.
I already thought it was crazy.
I actually have this article.
Okay.
Don't ask me why. It wasn't bears. It was gorillas.
Gorillas. Gorillas eat rotting wood.
And I swear I didn't know you were going to talk about this. But
that's kind of funny.
But I can't imagine the gorilla being an issue around here.
Gorillas will chew on decaying wood until their gums bleed in some instances.
Yeah, that's what it says. Yeah.
They may also lick decaying logs and tree stumps.
We are
often returning daily to do this. So if they came once, they're going to come again.
It's just evidence that we really didn't evolve from them. That's what I think.
Agree.
It's really
agree.
I don't have any inkling at all to do that.
Well, bears are attracted to rotten wood too.
Are they really?
Mm-hmm. Well, the grubs and everything that grow in there, they'll eat that stuff.
They taste like rice pudding, I heard.
Depends on the type of grub.
Have you ever had a grub? It tastes like rice pudding.
Not that I know of.
I
can't think of a grub-eating instance in my past. Not saying that I haven't. I did eat an earthworm one time.
Why?
I was very, very young, and my mom showed it to me. She stuck it in my hands, and
do you remember it?
She turned away, and this was before she turned away and turned back, and it was in my mouth. So she says she took it out. She got it out of my mouth, but I don't know.
Did you ever see that show, Naked Castaway? There was a guy.
No. No. Does he eat decaying wood?
No, but he was eating maggots. He was frying maggots and eating. He said they tasted like rice pudding.
Okay. That's how you got the rice pudding.
Yeah.
Is that maggots or is that grubs?
They were maggots in this case, but they don't look that different.
They don't.
Grubs
maggots are a little smaller.
Yeah. Grubs are a little bigger.
And that's probably the rice pudding-ish. More like rice. Grubs are more like kidney bean size.
This is the kind of conversation you have
Navy beans.
After the house has all been fixed. You know, we can sit back and have a Miller.
Little Miller High Life. Yes. And as you know, a lot of times in dealing with homeowners in disaster situations or even construction situations, it's hard to find a something to laugh about or to talk about because construction can be stressful.
You've got to blow off steam or something.
You've got, the husband wants one thing and the wife wants another. There's disagreements on what colors to use or what they actually want, as well as differences in budget. So it's construction can be stressful for different people.
Oh yeah. So would you ever replace, like if there was a fire and somebody said, you know what, from now on I want steel, so can you make the part that burned down replace instead of with wood beams, steel beams?
You can use metal trusses and metal studs. So
even if it's only part of the house?
Yeah.
Like you could have a partially steel house?
You could. It wouldn't make much sense because you could still have a fire in other parts, but
that's true.
I mean there's all kinds of different upgrades that it has to get certain temperatures, but it can. But you can also get fire resistant drywall too. So
that would be the choice then.
Probably.
Makes sense, right? If you have any damage to your home, and of course we're living a little over silly today. I don't know. It's the cold temperatures. I think.
Is it?
Yeah. That and the naked thing that I saw.
And gorillas.
And gorillas eating rotting wood.
Mm-hmm. So if you don't want gorillas in your home,
I think that guy in that show.
Gorillas would cause damage in your home. I've never had to repair gorilla damage. I have used Gorilla Glue.
Have you? Is it good?
Yeah.
Do you like that stuff?
Except for when it foams up and it makes a mess. But sometimes that's good too.
My recommendation is that if people get your magnetic business card and put it on their refrigerator.
And I don't even have any of them today. I do have a damage control pen, which I have lots of those. So if you want a damage control pen, I can get you one of them.
By the way, we have a sweet lady who does a law advice show now.
Vanessa Lane Jennings.
Thank you.
Yeah, I listened to it the other day.
She's a good friend of yours, isn't she?
She is.
And she finds your pens everywhere. Mm-hmm. So it's like
she sent me a picture of this the other day.
That's what she said. Yeah. So I want to look. Now I want to pay attention to how many pens you have out there.
Her show's on Friday, right?
Yeah.
Fridays.
Yeah.
She's a smart lady.
Now I know you work closely with insurance people. Mm-hmm. Angie is one of them.
Yep.
Do you work closely with a lot of attorneys, like Vanessa? Is that a necessary part of the?
Well, we're working with an attorney on one of our jobs right now. Unfortunately, the homeowners have had to hire an attorney to go through the process. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you need that. It's like with a car accident. Sometimes you.
Unfortunately, yeah. Sometimes it is needed.
Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you do.
So it's good to know people in the field, in the industry.
So where do you go from here? What's next?
I have a business luncheon to go to.
That sounds pretty good.
It is. There'll be all kinds of construction professionals at this lunch. That'll be pretty good.
So before you say goodbye, how do we get that business card? How do we get you? How do we get a hold of you?
You contact me directly, 352-817-6574, or you can email me, joe@damageflorida.com.
All right, Joe. It was fun today. Fun show.
It was.
Thank you for coming in, as always. See you next week.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. The president's attempts to help some illegal immigrants stay in the U.S. getting scrutiny by the Supreme Court.
The U.S. Supreme Court has agreed to